reached out this offseason to Kyler to advise him. Why? Legacy. Russell told me, Dick, how important Drew Brees' mentorship has been to him in his career. So Russ feels it's his duty to continue fostering the successful lineage of smaller quarterbacks.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. And Kyler Murray of the little guys will get the ball first as the Seahawks won the toss. They defer, and so Arizona will get the ball to start this game. Cardinals losing to Carolina last week here. They were down 8 going into the fourth quarter. Pete Carroll's team trailed 22-7, and they had to pass and lost at home to the New Orleans Saints. Jason Myers will start the game and kick off, and back deep will be Andy Isabella, Cardinal rookie. Game is underway, and Isabella just 4 yards in the end zone, will down it for the touchback. And Kyler Murray, who was sacked 8 times last week, 16 on the season. And of course, he's going to get the growing pains of the NFL after winning a lot in college.
Kyler Murray has come out. He's got to start fast. Obviously, everybody wants to start fast, but this is about a rhythm. This offense needs to get in rhythm early, and you get in rhythm by making completions, underneath completions quickly to get Kyler Murray rolling.
They've got David Johnson and Chase Edmonds, 2 running backs, in the lineup for a first down, and it's going to be an end around to Chase Edmonds, and Edmonds gets some running room, crosses the 30-yard line. Tedrick Thompson on the tackle, taking a look at the Cardinals offense, and they've been struggling, especially in the run department. Damiere Byrd not playing today, and starting again at right tackle will be Jordan Mills, and we're going to get a look at some young wide receivers.
There, Trent Sherfield's going to get his opportunity to get in here. Young wide receivers, they want to get these guys some playing time. Sherfield's been great on special teams. He's got to show it in a regular offense.
2nd and 3, David Johnson runs for the first down, so a couple of running plays starts off for the Cardinals.
And this is something that the Cardinals have to do a better job of. They have been so pass heavy. They've got to be successful early with this running game. Nice play there by David Johnson. Get them going, get them in a rhythm. 2 straight runs here.
5 yards on that play, and this time Murray is looking for a receiver, and he's going to be tackled for a loss, and it's going to be Michael Kendricks, one of those great linebackers, 3 of them that the Seahawks bring in, and a loss of 5.
Yeah, and you know, this is the issue here. You've got edge on the side here. You're in 5 one-on-ones all the time. Now you've got the back coming over there. He's got to do a better job. That is David Johnson. You've got to be stout at the point of attack when you're helping, when you're chipping. David Johnson's got to do a better job. That's just not good enough, Dick.
2nd down and 15. Wide receivers line up to the right and up the middle, and David Johnson on the reception gets out to the 40-yard line, and will bring up 3rd and long. Kendricks again on the tackle. The Seahawks defensive unit, and Tedrick Thompson, as we mentioned, making a play earlier, is back in the starting lineup, and Ziggy Ansah also starting. He was a question mark late in the week with a sore back, so they've got their best pass rushers in there now. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Once again, the Cardinals with Edmonds and Johnson in the backfield, and Murray gets away from a defender, and on the run, the pass is going to be caught by Trent Sherfield, the receiver you pointed out, Mark, when we started, at a first down to the 45-yard line of Seattle, a pickup of 15.
Young receiver does a great job of mirroring the quarterback. The quarterback escapes. You see Seattle's putting some pressure. They're bringing extra guys, defensive backs, escapability, but Sherfield mirroring his quarterback, running the same angles, giving him a target across the middle of the football field. Nice job by a young wide receiver.
First catch of the year by Sherfield, and they get it quickly out to David Johnson. And Johnson picks up good yardage. Ziggy Ansah, been bothered by the sore back, the veteran defensive end, making the tackle, but not before the Cardinals get 6.
And this is exactly what the Cardinals offense needs, some rhythm to it, completing passes, keeping Seattle off balance with the run, spread them out, creating opportunities for their receivers as well as their running backs.
Johnson comes out. Edmonds is the lone setback now on 2nd and 4. And they give it to Edmonds on the delay. And Chase Edmonds getting a first down close to the 30-yard line of Seattle. KJ Wright making a stop and a gain of 6. An impressive opening drive by the Cardinals.
Great combination between guard and center getting to the second level right here. Watch them work this inside, get up to the second level, create some movement, give your your running back an opportunity to get daylight in there before the linebacker gets off. Very nice job up front by the Cardinals.
And a first down at the 32. Chase Edmonds again. Edmonds had carried just 5 times in the first 3 games before this one. There you see the Arizona offense ranking 26 coming into this game, and Seattle 4th, giving up points because of turnovers. David Johnson comes back in the game. It'll be 2nd and 5.
A lot of that, the reason they don't run, they choose not to run, and that's been a problem for this offensive line. It's been one of the reasons they've given up the 2nd most sacks in football, on pace to give up 85 sacks as a unit here offensively.
4 wide receivers for the Cardinals, and the quick out to Larry Fitzgerald makes his first catch of the game for a minimal gain. Kendricks, who's been a very active defender for the Seahawks early on, making the stop, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And I think that's one of the things, the keys to this Seattle defense. They will play all 3 linebackers. They will play base, 3 linebackers to all these 10 personnel, 11 personnel, 4 wide, 3 wide sets. They are not afraid because their linebackers can run and they can hit you and tackle.
3rd down and 3. And Murray's pass, and it's knocked away. Good defensive play. Keyshawn Johnson defended well by Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback. Brings up 4th down, and a field goal try coming up.
Just watch the speed pivot right here. Jam, turn, read the route, come attack the football. That is wonderfully done. I mean, you can't do it any better than that. And you're beating off that route, your ability to come back and make a play.
Now, Ryan Winslow is going to be punting today. Andy Lee, one of the best in the league, out with a hip flexor. And Winslow has to hold now for this 43-yard attempt by Zane Gonzalez. And Gonzalez's kick is no good. Misses off to the right. And Pete Carroll delighted that the Seahawks, despite giving up a lot of yardage, holds the Cardinals. They missed the field goal. The game is scoreless, and we'll be back to Glendale after this. First miss of the year for Zane Gonzalez, wasting an 11-play, 49-yard drive by the Cardinals. Now Russell Wilson is in there, and he completes his first pass to Tyler Lockett, going out of bounds, and an 8-yard gain. Russell Wilson, who has 7 touchdowns and no interceptions on the year, and has not lost here in Glendale
Number
since
74
2013.
has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 74
against the Cardinals. George Fant, he did lose 1 game, and that's a big one, the Super Bowl. George Fant comes in as an eligible offensive lineman for the Seahawks on 2nd down and 2. And the handoff is to Carson, and he's going to lose about a yard. Chris Carson loses a yard. Taking a look at the Seahawks offense. And they like to run the ball. Rashard Penny unable to play because of a hamstring. So that'll cut down the running back depth for this team.
And Tyler Lockett's one of those guys. He's got a Vulcan mind melt going on with Russell Wilson. These two just completely understand each other. And broken plays, when the play is broken down, Russell Wilson takes off. They are connected so well together. They're unbelievable.
Lockett coming off a career game with 11 catches last time, and this pass will be caught. First down by Jerron Brown, who spent his first 5 years in the uniform of the Cardinals, and it'll be a first down for Seattle at the 49.
Well, Russell Wilson said, listen, I've got so much talent right now. One of the areas that they want to basically attack of the Cardinals is that underneath coverage with guys like Brown, with guys like Disley. They have struggled, the Cardinals have, of essentially covering that those underneath routes. So something to look for today.
2 8-yard passes for Russell Wilson thus far. They're on their own 49. Play fake. And this pass is caught by Will Dissly. And out of bounds in a hurry. For a game break, let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks so much, Dick. Lions down 4 against the Chiefs. Matt Stafford floats this one up. Kenny Golladay somehow gets 2 feet in bounds for his second touchdown of the day. Lions up by 3 late in the 4th. Dick?
Number 74 has reported as an eligible receiver. Number 74.
Carissa, and again, George Fant is announced as another eligible offensive lineman. It'll be second down and 4 for the Seahawks in Cardinal territory at the 45. Here's Carson spinning away, and he's going to get a first down. And Chris Carson, who, as you know, has had his fumbling problems, has lost 3 fumbles in 3 games.
Well, sometimes you have to have vision, because this guy right here, Suggs, unblocked. Not necessarily the guy you want to leave unblocked. Look at the spin move right there. You see it with the vision. Put your foot in the ground, spin, get to the edge. Chris Carson needs a big day, and I'm telling you, Seattle, they want to get him rolling. They want to get him confident. They want to get him yardage today and control this tempo of this game.
Gain of 8 yards and a first down now at the 37 of Arizona. Carson again. Tests the middle and picks up a couple of extra yards. Let's take a look now at the Cardinals defensive unit. They have given up those explosive plays, and that has really hurt this team in the first 3 games. And yet to pick up an interception.
And Chandler Jones, this is a guy that is a complete football player. He'll play on the edge, always the widest guy, but does a great job rushing the passer and attacking the football, creating turnovers.
C.J. Prosise has come in for Chris Carson at running back, second down and 5. Wilson drills it, and the pass is caught. And it's Dissly once again, the tight end. And the Seahawks getting right about the 15-yard line. Buda Baker on the stop, but a gain of 17.
Well, you're attacking this underneath coverage. We talked about it right here. Watch him right down the seam. Dissly down the seam. Everybody jumps underneath. I mean, that's like stealing. It's too easy. You have got to be better. Here's a guy coming off an ACL right there. Low hit by Buda Baker, but that's what you have to do in the NFL right now. Nice tackle, nice execution by this offense.
Wilson is 4 for 4 on this opening drive. First down at the 15. And the fade. And it is incomplete. Pass intended for the rookie DK Metcalf and covered well by another rookie, Byron Murphy.
Well, Dick, tight ends have been a huge problem for this defense. That underneath coverage that I talked about week 1, T.J. Hockenson, 131 yards. Week 2, 112 by Mark Andrews. And then last week, right there, 2 TDs and 6 receptions for Greg Olsen. Something they talked about, something that they have to fix, and they have to start today.
Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator. And Wilson trying to get out of trouble, and he fires it away out of the end zone. Good pass rush that time by the Cardinals. Something they haven't been able to muster much of. And there is Pete Carroll. Notice the scar on his nose. Hit with a football. Thrown by Cody Barton in practice last week. Had to wear a bandage on the football. And he knows that is.
Some of the best plays you make as a quarterback are the ones that you don't make. When you just throw it away and say, live to fight another down, don't put my team in harm's way. We're in field goal position. Don't cost me field goal position. Nice job by Russell Wilson.
3rd and 10. Carson back in there, goes out as a receiver, and Wilson is being chased back to his 30-yard line. And this pass off the fingertips to Metcalf, too long. 4th down coming up. And now Seattle will try to take the lead with a field goal try.
Well, here he is, Russell Wilson spinning out. This is what he's a magician. He's just getting out of the way. And now watch, out of the back of the end zone. If my 6'4" receiver can't catch it, nobody is going to catch it. Again, smart decision by number 3, keeping my team in a position for this field goal try.
Amazingly enough, Jason Myers has attempted only 1 field goal attempt this year. Missed from 58 yards. but this kick is good. 33-yard field goal by Jason Myers. So the Cardinals missed a three-pointer, but the Seahawks connect, and they have a 3-0 lead with just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Good job by the Cardinal defense making life difficult for Russell Wilson, who had to throw the ball away a couple of times. And so the Cardinals will get the kickoff, and 11-play, 52-yard drive capped by Myers' 33-yard three-pointer. Chase Edmonds will be back deep for Arizona. And his line drive kick goes way out. It's actually the upright. So the Cardinals will start at the 25. Well, in historic first 3 games for the #1 draft pick, Kyler Murray, 5th most in NFL history as far as passing yards. He has most pass attempts in the first 3 games in the NFL as well. But it's been a passing show and not a running show for Arizona so far, Mark.
It has, and it's been the single route, like what I call a sight thrower. And he's got to develop those second window throws, those route combinations. That's something that he has to be better at, and it has to start today.
From the 25. Swinging out to David Johnson. Puts a good move on. And his forward progress will be the 30-yard line. Bobby Wagner was defending out there. 5-yard gain.
What I mean by second window throws, Dick, is I mean in a route combination, when you have somebody short, somebody high, and you're looking to kind of create that separation, you've got to be able to throw it down the middle of the football field, get it to that second receiver.
Second down and 5, and the screen pass is going to be picked off by Jadeveon Clowney, and he's going to run it in for the touchdown. Jadeveon Clowney, acquired in a trade from the Houston Texans. Pro Bowl defensive end, and there's a team photo for you right there early on. And the interception for the touchdown, something that has been haunting the Seahawks. And Murray with an unfortunate pick here, and Seattle has taken a 9-0 lead. 27-yard run after the interception by Clowney. And now Myers is on for the extra point. And of course, reviewing to make sure that Clowney stayed in bounds in his scamper down the sideline.
Well, welcome to Seattle, Jadeveon Clowney, right there. Uh-oh, look what I found here. Put my left hand out there, grab the football down the sideline. They traded for him. He didn't get to be in camp with them, the offseason program. They're working him in there. That's a great way to kind of start off an exclamation point to your Seattle Seahawks season.
And they reviewed it, and as you saw, he stayed in bounds all the way. Now Myers for the extra point. And the kick is good, and Seattle has taken an early 10-0 lead. Both the Seahawks and the Cardinals have gotten off to slow starts this year, but not in this game as far as Seattle. Their defense getting them points to take the 10-point lead. So a one-play great defensive effort by Clowney and the rest of the Seattle defense, giving them a 10-0 lead. And Kyler Murray now with 4 interceptions on this season to go along with 4 touchdowns. And for Clowney, it was first career pick 6. And this kick goes out of the end zone, and the Cardinals will go to the 25.
All right, well, here's the interception, and you're going to see K.J. Wright come off the edge here. As a running back, you want to really chip that first and then release to keep his momentum from getting toward the quarterback. He doesn't really get a good chip or a good hit on him. He just kind of bypasses him, and you see the hand get up, tip the ball. Johnny on the spot, Clowney right there to receive that ball. Great catch. What an athletic athletic move by Jadeveon Clowney with the left hand to secure that football and take it to the house.
From the 25, and the jet sweep to Andy Isabella, and the rookie from the University of Massachusetts with a nifty gain, and a flag is down back at the 30, and it looks like holding will be called after a 16-yard gain. Holding will nullify the Cardinals game.
During the run, holding, offense number 87. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
And that'll be on the tight end, Max Williams. Time for a game break. Here's Carissa Thompson.
Big Six Chiefs down by 3 in Detroit. Patrick Mahomes hands it off to Darrell Williams, punches it in from 1 yard out. Great game in Detroit. 5 lead changes in this game. Chiefs up by 4 with 20 seconds left. Lions ball. Pick.
All right, Carissa, thank you very much. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, instead of a 16-yard gain and a first down, have a 1st and 15. David Johnson picks up about 4. Second down coming up. Johnson last week with a touchdown reception.
And I think this is important. This is an important factor for the Cardinals. You just can't get into throwing it every time right now. They continue to run the ball. You see the jet sweep that yielded them 16 over the holding call. Then we come right back to David Johnson. We have got to continue to take pressure off this O-line.
2nd and 11 gets some time here. And he completes the pass to Charles Clay, the tight end. But Trey Flowers, who's been a target for a lot of opposing quarterbacks, was Johnny on the spot there to make the play, limiting the Cardinals to a gain of 2.
Well, you're just in the cover 2 down here, so your corner's rolling up. That's Flowers right there. He rolls up. He sees the eyes of the quarterback, puts his foot in the ground, comes right back, eliminates that. That's only like a 2-yard gain on a little flat route right there by the tight end. So this is a great play by a young cornerback who has had his struggles over the course of the early season.
3rd down and 8. Murray looking for a room, and he has Johnson, and David Johnson will move the chains. Flowers covering on the play, and a good pass to Johnson on 3rd and 8. They got 9 yards for a first down.
And this is what David Johnson needs. He needs to be physical. He's just going to leak out. Nice little chip block. Now, give your quarterback a target right here. But here, go get the first down. Put your head down. Drive through the shoulder of that tackling cornerback and get us a first down. Know where it is. Be physical at the point of attack. Something that David Johnson needs to do consistently throughout this game.
From the 37, Chase Edmonds comes back in and gets the call. Edmonds with a good gain on first down. Kendricks and Flowers defending, gain of 6.
I'm telling you, these offensive linemen right now, I mean, they've been throwing it 45 times a game for crying out loud through 3 games. They are so thankful. They have heard the criticism throughout the NFL talking about this O-line not being very good. Just the fact that they get to run the ball a little bit, taking some pressure off them from having to protect the quarterback consistently throughout the first part of this game.
They've rushed 6 times and passed 10. Better than the percentage used to be. 2nd down, and here's the first catch of the game for Christian Kirk. It'll be good enough for a first down near midfield. Picking up 6 yards. Kirk, coming off a career high with 10 catches, leads the Cardinals in receiving. Cardinals had an impressive drive of 11 plays to start the game, but missed a field goal. First down at the 49, and another running play. David Johnson, and this time will go nowhere as he is driven back. Kendricks has been in there all game. Help from Brandon Jackson as well this time, and Bobby Wagner. No gain on the play.
One of the things that this offense has struggled with is the difference between calling plays and calling an offense. Having plays that stack one upon another. And we call that sequencing your plays, making sure that they have the according play action that goes with them, something they've struggled with.
2nd down and 10, and here's Johnson up the middle. Good catch and a first down. David Johnson up the middle and gets to the 20-yard line. Quick pass, and Johnson was open. He's been a big part of this first quarter for the Cardinals. Gets his number 31, 31-yard gain, and that will be the end of the first quarter here at State Farm Stadium. With the score, it's the Seahawks 10 and the Cardinals who are threatening nothing.
Focused on you. That's what you should do. What would a champion do?
Start of the second quarter here at Glendale. Dick Stockton along with Mark Schlereth and Jen Hale. Seahawks, thanks to Clowney's interception return for a touchdown, leading 10-0. And the Cardinals coming off a 31-yard pass play to David Johnson, who has 5 catches so far, have a first down on the 20 of Seattle. Here's David Johnson with the carry. No gain. Thanks to Poona Ford, the nose tackle.
And here's where you get yourself behind the chains. Now all of a sudden you're second down and 9 or second down and 10. You didn't gain any yardage, and now everybody in the building knows you're going to be forced to throw this football. So the Seattle Seahawks have their radar up for what's coming at them right now.
2nd and 10. They're going to throw, and they're going to go deep, and it's overthrown, intended for Sherfield. Trey Flowers was defending against Sherfield. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, a couple plays ago, David Johnson right there. You see him now. I love this call because you've already bunched people. You've already done this middle screen. Watch the offensive linemen. The big hog mollies out here. They're going to go inside. They're going to go outside. They're going to get the blocks. And then Christian Kirk going to turn it up the field and get that late block for David Johnson. That's what you have to be able to do to keep this offense going. Nice change of pace for the Arizona Cardinals. Throwing some plays in there they haven't run previously.
This is the 11th play of the drive, and the Cardinals will call a timeout, first timeout of the game, and it comes early in this second quarter. And we'll be right back after this message from Progressive. Thus far, the Cardinals have outgained the Seahawks, rushing and passing. Of course, Seattle has had only one offensive possession, scoring on a defensive touchdown, but the total yards favor Arizona, but now they're faced with 3rd down and 10. Here's Clowney, who had the pick 6. Murray going to run, and he's going to keep his feet, not get the first down. He'll be about 5 or 6 yards shy. Trey Flowers, the cornerback, pushed him out of bounds, setting up 4th down, and Zane Gonzalez will come in and try the field goal, and we'll watch Gonzalez, who missed for the first time. He's now 9 of 10 for the year. He missed a 43-yarder, and Ryan Winslow will be holding. He was with the team in preseason, been property of the Bears out of the University of Pittsburgh, holding here for a 33-yard try. And Gonzalez's kick is good, and the Cardinals score early here in the second quarter. Seahawks in front 10-3. Russell Wilson will be coming up. It'll be his 2nd time leading the Seahawk offense when we come back. Right in the middle, Larry Fitzgerald has now caught a pass in 231 consecutive games. There's the scoring drive, and a smart drive using a lot of time and plays. Tyler Lockett will see this one sail away. Well, Friday Night SmackDown premieres on Fox in just 5 days with star-studded 20th anniversary event. Join Hulk Hogan, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin together on WWE's biggest night. Don't miss Friday Night SmackDown, Friday at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, only on Fox.
Yeah, I saw Brock Lesnar there as well. Brock Lesnar came out and played for the Vikings one preseason. And here's a guy that really never played. He was actually a really good football player as well. Guy is put together, there's no question. Great wrestler.
So you don't need any football training.
Well, you probably need a little bit of football training, but he just used raw power to get it done.
Sometimes that works.
Yeah. Well, he's got plenty of it to spare, I guarantee you that.
From the 25. Wilson will hand off to Carson, hemmed in and knocked down for a 2-yard loss. Cassius Marsh, who, by the way, regards this as a payback kind of game. And Seattle was the team he wanted to play for, played with them for 3 years, had a second chance with them. They let him go. And he had earmarked this game as a game that he wanted to come back and do damage against his former team.
There's nobody you'd rather beat more than your buddies, right? I mean, when you leave, you've got friends over there. You want to come out. You want to shine. That's what Cash is thinking about. But I guarantee you, once all that stuff works pre-game, once you start playing, you're reading keys. You're just playing football. You don't even think about that stuff.
Second down and 11. And the quick toss to Carson out of the backfield. And he gets to the 31-yard line before Chris Jones, the nickel back, makes the play. 7-yard gain, bringing up third down.
And this is something that Seattle would like to get Chris Carson more involved in. He has that ability to catch the football out of the backfield. He's a dynamic player. We know about the fumbling issues that he's had. Let's get him in space. Let's get him some touches. Let's get him some catches. Let's get him comfortable in our offense. And then let's pound the rock after that.
Third down and 4. And Wilson drills it. Caught, first down, run after the catch by Jerron Brown. And Brown stumbles, but not before he gets to about the 35-yard line of the Cardinals. A big game for Brown in his second year with the Seahawks, 32 yards.
Jerron Brown underneath coverage. Again, he's just standing up there. Look at him give his target to his quarterback right there. The big hands, hey, I'm open, and then missed tackles Jerron Brown, getting a big play on third down for this offense, and they're rolling again for Seattle.
Only the second possession offensively for the Seahawks from the 37. Play action, Wilson a lot of time going deep, and the pass is caught inside the 10-yard line by Lockett. What a combination, as you pointed out, Wilson and Lockett. And a big gain for the Seahawks, 28 yards that time.
Well, they're so connected together, but Lockett, they always run this half roll one way, throw back the other way. That's a staple of this Seattle, and that's where they get the big plays. You see how far to the right Russell Wilson rolls out and holds the backside of that defense, and then you cut Lockett across the formation. That's Seattle Seahawks football 101.
Over the head of Budda Baker. Trying to get a piece of it, first and goal, and here is Wilson out of the end zone. David Moore was the intended receiver, and for a game break, let's check in once again with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. Vikings-Bears, battle of the 2-1 teams in the NFC North. Trubisky out with an apparent shoulder injury, so Chase Daniel connects with Tariq Cohen for this 10-yard score. Bears up 7-0. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
Carissa, thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt you, Carissa. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is leading the Rams 7-0 early in their game at the Coliseum. Second down and goal. Ball at the 9. Wilson's pass caught for the touchdown. Will Dissly, the tight end, does it again. And a flag is down. So we'll have to wait. Penalty down at the 13. Sean Smith.
Use to the hands to the face, defense. Number 96, that penalty decline, touchdown.
So they decline the penalty. It'll be a 9-yard touchdown, and the biggest cheerleader on this team is Pete Carroll.
Well, you're going to see Dissly. He's just going to get this spray release, and the receiver from the outside is going to take all the coverage. And this is just a busted coverage. Here's Dissly on the spray. Everybody goes with the receiver to the inside. And, I mean, that's like stealing. That's too easy. Seattle, nice design, but horrible defense. And that's been something that's plagued this defense. Missed assignments, missed plays, and giving up the big ones.
Myers converts the extra point. And the Seahawks lead it now by a score of 17-3. The pass to Lockett set it up. And Disley with a touchdown catch, his 4th of the year to lead the Seahawks. Lockett, who caught a pass for 28 yards, Jerron Brown for 32, the 2 big plays in a 75-yard scoring drive, the biggest of this basically young game so far. And for Russell Wilson, his 8th touchdown pass of the year, he has yet to throw a pick. So it's 17-3. And the Cardinals will get the ball. Chase Edmonds is back deep for Arizona, and this ball again will create the touchback.
All right, we mentioned broken plays, missed assignments. This is pretty easy right here. You're running a slant. Watch both DBs jump the slant. Now you're running the rail route by Disley right down the rail where that DB just vacated. And I mean, again, you make mistakes like this against a quarterback like Russell Wilson, and you're going to be looking up at the wrong side of a lopsided score. And in the NFL, that's just wide open, and another tight end that's giving this defense some trouble.
Starting from the 25, Murray is 9 of 12 for 84 yards. Fakes a handoff to Johnson and flips it, and the pass is caught, and they're going to get a first down. David Johnson still on his feet with a terrific run after the catch and gets into Seahawk territory. 28-yard gain for Arizona when it looked like he was in deep trouble.
This is one thing that Kyler Murray can do for you, right? He can scramble, he can move, he's exceptionally athletic. Look at the little sidearm flip right there, just like the second baseman he is. And that's a big play. You can't count on the broken play, but sometimes when they happen, you need a quarterback like that to get it to your receiver.
Nearly 100 yards totally already for David Johnson, but not this time, as he is hit immediately by Quinton Jefferson, who's been the best pass rusher for Seattle thus far. No gain, bringing up second down.
This is the point of the game right here. You need a score. You need to settle this offense down. You need to settle down your defense so they have some time on the sideline to go over some adjustments, how they're going to cover Disley. This is one of those we've got to keep a drive together. Second down and 10. You don't want to be behind the chains. This has been a struggle for them all season.
And Murray is going to run it. Breaks a tackle, gets a first down, and goes out of bounds. That's the weapon that he has. A big gain, and it was Michael Kendricks who missed the tackle earlier. 15 yards for Murray.
Well, we talked about missed tackles, right? And this guy can make you miss. And Pete Carroll said, hey, listen, he's a guy, he's not going to take a lot of hits. He does not want to get hit. He is smart that way, very much like Pete Carroll's quarterback in Russell Wilson, and he'll get himself out of bounds. But this is something we talked about coming into the game. You've got to make tackles when they're available to you. There's one missed tackle.
Pete Carroll described Kyler Murray as a star. And his best days ahead of him because he'll make mistakes like that, as it's Rasheem Green chased him down in a huge loss for the Cardinals. 8 yards on that play. So it's a learning experience every week for Kyler Murray, the good and the bad.
I think one of the things, and he said the big surprise for him in this league was the athleticism of the defensive ends. He said, you think that NBA players are freaks? Watch the defensive ends in this league. And at Oklahoma, he's out there for a first down right now. Against the Seahawks, that's a sack. That's the difference.
Second sack of the game, and here's Edmonds running inside and getting to the 31-yard line. Chase Edmonds picking up 9 yards, so it'll be third down. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Seahawks leading 17-3. It'll be third down and 8.
Seahawks need to make a few adjustments. The Cardinals coming out with some two-back sets. Something they haven't shown it at all during the course of this early season.
Here's pressure on Murray, and the ball is knocked down and nearly picked off. They try to get it into the hands of David Johnson once again. And it was Jefferson who got a hand on it. So Zane Gonzalez will come in, and the Cardinals will try for 3.
Well, your quarterback, this is somewhere where you want him to drift back a little bit more. Let this thing let it time out. The timing of this is just way too quick. Quarterback to running back. He's got to give ground and let that time out a little bit better. Obviously, David Johnson not ready for it.
48-yard try for Gonzalez, who's 1 for 2. And Zane Gonzalez misses this kick. He's missed 2 out of 3 after coming into the game perfect 9 for 9. And that has cost the Cardinals big time. Missed the 48-yard field goal, so the score remains the Seahawks 17 and the Cardinals 3. Well, the Seahawks will get the ball at the 38-yard line after the 48-yard miss by Gonzalez. And the Seattle Seahawks, who have scored on both of their possessions with a field goal and a touchdown, try to add to their margin over Arizona. Chris Carson picks up about 6 yards.
Well, it really comes down to decision-making at the quarterback position. You're in scoring range. Don't do anything dumb. Don't put your team back in a position. That leads to a field goal. You throw the ball away. Here's Kyler Murray taking a sack down in this area of the football field. A negative play. Put 10 extra yards on your field goal kicker, and it leads to a missed field goal. That's the difference between young guy and veteran guy.
And as Cliff Kingsbury said, you got to know when the party's over and get rid of the ball. 2nd down and 4 from the 44. Wilson getting hit. Ball stripped away, but Wilson recovers it. And it was Terrell Suggs who forced the fumble, coming in quickly. And the first sack of the game for Arizona.
Well, there's Suggs off the edge right here, and he's just coming down here. Watch how tight a hoop he runs against Dwayne Brown. He comes off there, slap right there, and look at him press back into the offensive tackle to create, here it is, push back into him, and then attack the football. These two defensive ends between Suggs and Chandler Jones do a better job of anybody else in the league about attacking, not the quarterback, but attacking that football.
And the first time he's gotten to Russell Wilson in his brilliant career. And now Seattle will call a timeout on 3rd and 10 at the 38-yard line. Let's check in once again with Carissa Thompson on a game break. Carissa.
Thanks, Vic. Well, both teams want to see this one. The Rams struggling in the early goings. Jameis Winston connects with Godwin for the 2nd time today. Bucks now have 14 points off of 2 Jared Goff interceptions. Bucks on the road up 21-0. Dick?
Boy, that is a shocker, Carissa. And, of course, the Rams will go against the Seahawks on Thursday night. And the Rams undefeated, coming in at 3-0, and the 49ers also at 3-0, but they're having their bye week this week. So interesting doings coming up in this NFC West race.
Well, it's such a week-to-week league, and you do such a good job, what these coaches do, of game planning, exposing weaknesses, and self-scouting, looking at yourself saying, how can we be better, and changing what you do. And that's what we're seeing today in Tampa.
3rd down and 10. Wilson, short pass, and Disley is unable to get away from Jordan Hicks. Hicks with 10 tackles in his first 3 games of the season, tying Luke Kuechly for the most tackles in the NFL, makes a big one there, creating a punting situation for Seattle.
And get excited. You should be excited, Hicks, because that's been something you guys have struggled with, that underneath coverage, losing those guys, not covering them, drop back in zone, see where it goes, rally up, make a tackle, get yourself off the field.
Michael Dixon punting for the first time. And timeout. Officials timeout. A flag has been thrown.
Well, I think that's going against Arizona. Encroachment.
Don't forget they needed 6 yards for a first down. Be interesting to see if it's a 1-yard situation, what Pete Carroll will decide to do. If it is indeed against Arizona.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, Left defensive tackle, 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
So it's now 4th down. And 1, 4th and 1, and right now the Seahawks showing punt. Again with Dixon. Christian Kirk is back deep for the Cardinals. And a rush on the kicker that time on Dixon. Fair catch by Kirk at the 5-yard line. They were coming in to try to possibly get a piece of it. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray coming out once again. 2 missed field goals have not helped the Cardinals. We'll see here.
Well, something that Kyler Murray talked about was the difference in the hash marks. Now, an NFL hash mark, right there, you see where it is. If you're in a 3-by-1 set, 3 wide receivers, this is the area of the field that you have to defend. College, you move those out, it's about an extra 11 feet of space. So you've got more real estate that you have to defend. It opens up the offense. Something they're struggling to figure out exactly, the timing of these routes and route combinations with these tighter hash marks, and something they've got to continue to work on.
Starting from their worst position of the game, hand off to David Johnson for about 4 yards. Al Woods with the tackle. Lining up in a hurry, tight formation, and the pitch going to David Johnson again. Johnson spinning his way, flag is down, back inside the 10.
And that's going to be a holding call. They can ill afford to accept. I mean, a holding call on your left tackle. It was a great tackle out there on the edge, but again, this is this offense, and this is what has pinned you back. And if you're Seattle right now,
Holding, offense number 74. After distance penalty, replay 2nd down.
yeah, Humphreys. You can see Humphreys right there. It's just like I don't agree, but like, listen, if you were on defense, you get right there. You would get an attaboy or a sticker on your helmet for a tackle like that. So, again, now you're sitting here at 2nd and 10, 2nd and 11 behind the chains once again. Seattle, you've got to think of this as prime scoring territory for Seattle if you can get a stop right here.
2nd down and 11. Back to the 5. Sure, that's what the Seahawks are thinking about. Getting the ball and doing something about it. Murray, the back of the end zone, and he's going to throw this away into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald, as it turned out, as Rasheem Griffin, who already has a sack in the game, putting pressure once again on Murray.
Boy, he was just a few blades of grass. Here's the pressure, but watch him get to the end line. Just a few blades of grass right there between him and stepping out of bounds, understanding where you are on the football field, then taking a lesson from Russell Wilson. And hey, listen, when you're going to throw it to that guy, but make sure he's actually part of the play when you're throwing. Oh, he's on the field now. Larry Fitzgerald. That's good. Now that's the guy you want to get it to.
3rd down and 11. The Seahawks are looking for a stop here and get the ball in good field position. Murray in his end zone. And he overthrows David Johnson. Bringing up 4th down. And so the Seahawks looking for prime position here. 4th and 11. And the new kicker, Ryan Winslow, going to have a tough assignment for his first punt. He'll be standing at the back of the end zone here. Not much margin. And Tyler Lockett, of all people, standing at midfield. And a good kick. Will take a Cardinal bounce into Seattle territory. And the Cardinals will down it at the 43-yard line. So Ryan Winslow punting in place of Andy Lee, out with a hip flexor, and one of the best kickers in the league. 50-yarder from the back of the end zone. Now Russell Wilson coming into this game after that loss at home to Seattle, and has the best winning percentage after a loss all time. That shows something.
Yeah, that's a big time. 800. I mean, 8 out of every 10 games you come off a loss. you're winning that football game. And this is the nail in the coffin drive right here. You want to send these guys home, send them limping into their locker room, put a drive together right here that ends in points, be it a field goal or a touchdown, and it's almost an insurmountable lead.
Run to 44 and faking the inside handoff all day to throw, and the pass is caught by Disley for the first down. Brock on the play, but it'll be a first down at the 41, gain of 15.
Yeah, and I want you to watch this right here. Get some depth. You've got to have depth in the underneath coverage we talked about. Here is Riddick right there. Look at him. Look at how tight he is playing the shallow. And if you just have depth there in your drop, now you can't make that throw. But because you're playing low to high as opposed to high to low, you've just given up a big play to the tight end once again.
Already 5 catches and a touchdown for Disley, the tight end. And here is Carson with a 4-yard gain. Under 3.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Plenty of time, 2 timeouts. You've got the 2-minute warning. Take your time. Russell Wilson, I mean, that guy's as cool as a cucumber. He has got no stress about him the way he's operating this. And you want to be able to score, be it a touchdown or a field goal, and leave 0 time on the clock. Send them into their locker room, kind of licking their wounds here in the first half.
2nd down and 6. Got a 3-13 team a year ago against a playoff team. And you kind of knew it would be a tall order for the Cardinals today. Here's Carson on a quick handoff, and Carson will get the first down to the 30-yard line. Good run by Carson, picking up 7 yards.
Good trap inside. This is called a shorty right here. Just come in here, come in and trap this guy. Watch, bam! Open up that hole. Carson, wrap that football up because you put it on the ground before. Look at him come through the hole. Now watch him make contact. You see him get both hands on that ball. He's not letting that thing out. He is very conscientious. I mean, there's nobody that feels worse about putting the ball on the ground than Chris Carson. He's a big physical cat. This is the guy they have to get going, and you see it with a little shorty trap right there inside to get that first down.
53 yards. Last week, he has 7 carries for 29, as you saw, and we're down to the 2-minute warning. Here in Glendale, it's been a quiet crowd. Missed a field goal early, and then the defense and the offense for Seattle took over, 17-3. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Seahawks beat Cincinnati by 1 in their opener and edged the Steelers by 2. They have been outscored by 19 points in the first half of their first 3 games coming in, but have the healthy lead here. Now have a first down on the 30 of Arizona. And it's going to be Carson trying to go wide. And Carson turns the corner, does a good job against Terrell Suggs, and picks up 6 yards. And the clock stops at 1:53. 2nd down coming up.
Everything's open to you right here. You've got a short yardage situation. You can continue to clown the rock, or maybe send a little play action here. See if you can get somebody behind that underneath coverage if they suck up, and keep these chains moving, keep this drive alive.
Unlike the Seahawks, that passed twice as much as they've run so far in this game. Even with Wilson, they're primarily a running team, and they are here as Carson slams in for a first down close to the 15, picking up 8 more yards.
And watch the misread right here by the linebacker. Running back coming right back the opposite way. And, you know, you read that offensive line, you take a misstep, and that's a huge hole. I mean, the NFL, you get a 6-yard gap to run through, you're going to average 7-8 yards a carry. There's no question.
Carson is averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. And they showed their confidence in going right back to him. And again, it's going to be Carson spinning his way and gets a first down to about the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Seattle Seahawks. So despite losing 3 fumbles in 3 games, Chris Carson coming up big here.
Well, there are things that never go out of style, and that's center left guard Mike Upati, University of Idaho. Got to throw that in there. Just absolutely coming up, dispensing justice on the line of scrimmage. That thing was, that's 4 yards deep. moving guys off the ball. You do that, you're gonna win a lot of football
Yes,
games.
Can I say former Cardinal too?
Yes, you can. Former Cardinal as well.
All right, first and goal at the 5.
Never a former Vandal, though, always a Vandal.
C.J. Procise into the game, and he gets the carry and might lose a yard. Cassius Marsh coming up to the line, making the play, number 54. It'll be second down and goal, and a timeout is called by the Seahawks with 25 seconds left in the half. And right now, we're going to check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
TB, coming up on the Visa halftime, we got some big-time players.
Yeah, like who?
Tom Brady.
Oh, he's the man.
Lamar Jackson.
He's the man.
What about Baker Mayfield?
He's also the man.
Guys, I'm sitting right here.
It's all coming up on the Visa halftime.
He's the man, and then there was a lady there at the set as well. So now what do you do here? Second and goal. You're at the 6-yard line. 29 seconds remaining and 1. The timeout was called by the Seahawks. They have 1 left.
Watch Russell Wilson. Now the edge is selling out. The edge of the defense selling out to stop Chris Carson. Don't be surprised if Russell Wilson pulls it around the edge and tries to go in untouched as a quarterback keeper.
Lockett going in motion both ways. And here's Wilson. And Metcalf. No flag is down, and Kevin Peterson, former Ram, did a great job on the rookie receiver, bringing up 3rd and goal.
Well, you like the matchup, right? Metcalf at 6'4", big cat, get up there, attack the ball inside, but really nice coverage. And they'll let them hand fight a little bit here. Great job of reaching up there, getting your hands between the hands of the receiver and pulling it down by Kevin Peterson.
Well, Chris Carson is back in at 3rd and goal. There's Lockett lining up. And Peterson defending him on this one. 3rd down and goal. Wilson's pass. And it's knocked down. Nearly intercepted by Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy, who has played well, a 2nd-round draft pick out of the University of Washington. And 4th and goal coming up, and the field goal team comes on for Seattle.
Wow, they've got so much traffic down here on this side of the screen. They're running all kinds of picks. They've got all kinds of stuff going on. And look at Chris Carson. He's out there in no man's land because Riddick falls down, but obviously Russell Wilson doesn't see him trying to force it into 88 Will Dissly.
Wanted to go to Dissly again, so Myers with a 24-yard field goal try. And Myers' kick is good, so he's kicked his first 2 field goals of the season today. And he adds to the Seahawk lead. It's now 20-3 with 17 seconds on the clock.
It's exactly what we said they wanted to get done in this drive. They wanted to end in points and not enough time on the clock for Arizona to do anything but take a knee and go to the locker room. And if they're running plays with that amount of time left, they're in trouble. So you know what? You go regroup, you go into the locker room, try to figure out exactly how you're going to put some offensive plays together, run an offense that actually sustains a drive and puts points on the board.
20-3 the score. Let's go back to a famous moment in Seattle Seahawk history. Eerily similar to the beast quake from the 2011 wild card playoff game against the Saints. Marshawn Lynch nearly caused another beast quake on this fearsome 79-yard score against the Cardinals in 2014. It was the longest touchdown run of his career. Of course, a lot of people in Seattle would rather not think about another game played in Glendale, which ended with an interception at the goal line in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Let's forget about that one.
Yeah, they wish they would have given that one to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, that's right. They're still saying that. Want to remind you again, the Visa halftime coming up with the crew, Kurt Terry, Howie Michael, and Tony Gonzalez. The Battle of the North, Vikings and Bears, the old black and blue game. That's what the game is so far in the first half. And the Broncos seeking their first win against Jacksonville, all coming up on the Visa halftime report. Cardinals are going to take the knee, and that'll be business in the first half. Seahawks get a defensive touchdown, and Russell Wilson going to the air more than rushing, although Carson had a good half. And it all ends up with 2 missed field goals by Arizona, a 20-3 lead for Seattle over the Cardinals. So stay tuned for the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony, and all of that coming up right after these messages. And that was today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. It's 20-3. Pete Carroll's Seahawks lead the Cardinals at halftime, and the Seahawks will receive the second half kickoff. As part of the NFL's 100th anniversary celebration, each team hosting a centennial weekend. And yesterday, the Cardinals hosted a Hall of Fame day at State Farm Stadium with display of all 12 Hall of Fame busts and an autograph session featuring Aeneas Williams and Roger Worley, among others. And today, moments ago, the team enshrined former quarterback Carson Palmer into the Ring of Honor. Palmer led the team to the NFC title game in 2015 and ended up winning 38 games with the Cardinals. And the highest percentage quarterback here, the third quarterback after Kurt Warner and Jim Hart, to be on this Ring of Honor here. Great honor indeed, Mark Schlereth, for him. And I know that yesterday we talked to Pete Carroll, who had a special emotion thought too.
There's no question about it. And Pete Carroll said this is the highest compliment you can pay a guy. He said Carson Palmer was a dude, right? I mean, a dude means you can play, you're part of the team, you're part of the group. Said he used to hang out with the offensive line, go to dinner with those guys. He's just a consummate professional, but that's a guy that everybody rallied around. Pete Carroll, you could tell there's a special connection between Pete and Carson from their USC days.
Okay, and general thoughts about what we've seen so far, which has been a really domination by Seattle on both sides of the ball.
Well, mistakes in the red zone. You can't give up yardage in the red zone, and it led to 2 missed field goals in the red zone. So you look at it, it could be a 20-9 score as opposed to this 20-3 game that we're witnessing right now.
And the second half kickoff returned by Tyler Lockett, and Lockett dives to about the 23-yard line as we check in with Jen Hale.
Dick, you had a very happy Pete Carroll for that first half. First of all, a penalty-free first half. And secondly, Chris Carson seems to be back on track for the Seahawks. 54 yards, 10 carries, 0 fumbles. One of the things the Seahawks are doing differently, they have Carson holding the ball more across his chest. He has longer arms, and when he was holding it just down by his side, it left too much room in that crook of the elbow for defenders to pull it out. It's worked so far. We'll see if they can keep it up in the second half.
All right, Jen, no penalties, no turnovers, and the Seahawks scored on 3 of their 4 offensive possessions and a defensive TD as well. First down, and a pass caught by Disley. 5-yard gain.
Right back to work for this Seattle offense, and I really expect when you get this kind of lead, you've worked your way in there, that last drive, that running game. I fully expect them to really get Chris Carson involved and get him a ton of touches in this second half in the running game.
Average nearly 5.5 yards per carry. And here he is again. Carson breaks a tackle and gets the first down and more out to the 36-yard line, picking up 9 yards. And now Gimpy, as he comes off the field, and replaced by C.J. Prosise.
Yeah, he's going to get his ankle twisted here. You're going to watch him as he cuts in here, as that pile rolls up on him. It's going to roll that ankle. You don't see it on that angle, but he rolls his ankle. Watch it right there as the defensive line falls on it. I believe that was Corey Peters that fell on the ankle as he limps off the field.
And a whistle and an early timeout called by the Cardinals.
Arizona. 30 seconds.
Now, what causes, or what provokes a team to call a timeout at this point this early in the third.
Well, I think I saw Corey Peters run off too. We saw Chris Carson get off the field, kind of hobble off, but Corey Peters did as well. So you see him laying on the ground right there. I think he was a little late getting off, and they were afraid of getting trapped without a defensive lineman on the football field. They weren't ready for it. Miles Brown came in there late, but I think they had to call that timeout in fear that they're not having enough guys. I mean, they're having a tough time defending it with 11. Let alone try to defend it with 10, right? So they had to make that timeout just to get the right personnel on the football field.
So you're right. Miles Brown, rookie from Wofford, is in there. And on first down, and Procise is knocked back by Terrell Suggs for a loss on the play. It'll be second down. Loss there of 5 yards, and this is a key drive for the Cardinal survival here.
It certainly is. And DK Metcalf, you know, welcome to the National Football League right there. DK Metcalf, you've got to cut off Terrell Suggs, a guy that's been doing this for a long time. Good luck. Like, that's a bad assignment. You look at the sideline right there and go, really, guys? That's what you're asking me to do? Cut off T. Suggs?
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Second down and 14. And here is Wilson, and he completes the pass to Jerron Brown, knocked out of bounds, and that will bring up third down and about 5 coming up for Pete Carroll's team.
It's a nice little look by Russell Wilson. You get that sprint out action. He peeks to the backside to see if there's a potential big play to DK Metcalf. When it's not there, when it's covered, what does Russell Wilson do? Gets his profit, throws it to the sideline, and now you're facing a third and short situation.
Wilson's going to maybe run, but he runs into a defender head first. And a terrific defensive play made by Hassan Reddick. Reddick with a career high last week of 12 tackles in the game against Carolina, and Reddick stops him on third down.
Well, this is something that Russell Wilson doesn't do very often. Not run, but actually take a hit. And he didn't see Reddick coming from where he was. Reddick coming from where he was on the backside there. Actually gets a pretty good shot on Russell Wilson.
Second sack of the game by the Cardinals. So Michael Dixon kicking, and Christian Kirk running up here and makes the catch of the 19. Kirk has to watch out from behind, and it was that defender from behind who brings him down at the 19, Ugo Amadi, the rookie from Oregon. But a good stop by the Cardinal defense, and crucial considering the way the momentum has been going in this game, and Reddick, the man in the spotlight to make the key play. As you look at the offensive leaders so far for Arizona, keep in mind that Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk each with only 1 catch in the game thus far. First down at the 19. Murray kills the play, bringing up second down.
It's been, so far, it's been all Seahawks defense. I mean, they've had a great performance. Here's Kendricks getting in there on the sack, pressure, then rallying up, making plays on the football. How about Jadeveon Clowney, the #1 overall pick they traded from the Texans, takes it to the house on the interception, and then this is one right here, Green. You think you can outrun me? You could outrun defensive ends in Oklahoma, but not here in the NFL.
Second down and 10, and another big loss inside the 10-yard line. Kendricks with the sack, the third of the game for Seattle, and a loss of 9 yards. And so the Cardinals are going backwards now and will be at the 9-yard line facing third and forever.
Well, they're bringing all kinds of pressure. They're bringing it from the outside here. You don't see the guys where they're lined up, but middle linebacker Bobby Wagner. Here comes Kendricks, who's walked out on the slot, coming in there. So you're blitzing, you're bringing pressure. This is where Seattle wants to go make yardage.
And here's a pass to Fitzgerald, his second catch of the game. Will be 10 yards or 9 yards shy of the first down. Ziggy Ansah in pass coverage makes the tackle, and the Cardinals will have to kick. And you look at Seattle last week giving up 33 points. Well, first of all, it was a good team and Kamara, a good runner, but 3 touchdowns given up by punt return, fumble return, and short drive set up by fumbles, and that figures in the points you allow. Lock it back. Winslow to kick. Good hang time. Lockett is stopped at about the 40. Penalty flag down, back at the 20-yard line.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 55. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
Kendricks with his second sack of the game.
Michael Kendricks coming off the edge. You're in the slot. Blitz, 2 linebackers from one side. Get after the quarterback again. Michael Kendricks, this linebacking core, man, I tell you what, they're playing great football.
So there's Kendricks having an outstanding game. As Mark mentioned, they all are. As Bobby Wagner said to us last night, our linebackers are smart, fast, and experienced, and they're all of that. Here's what Seattle's done. Russell Wilson, 12 of 18 with a touchdown. Carson coming back strong at 63 yards, and Disley a TD and 6 catches. First down at the 25. 17-point Seahawk lead. Russell Wilson going to go short, and he'll complete the pass to David Moore. And Moore will be shy of a first down by a couple of yards.
Russell is so good at extending the play, attacking the line of scrimmage, making you as a defender stop your feet. Like, you're so worried about him taking off and running, buying that little bit of time, that little bit of space, and then just dumping his receiver, and now you're in 2nd down and 1. A busted play where it doesn't look like anything's going to happen, and you're in front of the chains right now. That's Russell Wilson.
He's gotten better, hasn't he, as the years go on?
He's so much fun to watch.
2nd down and 1. And here is Carson. And good second effort. First down for Seattle.
That's what you love. That's the kind of back you want, right? It's blocked for a negative rush. Right here, you've got penetration. Corey Peters in the backfield. Put your foot in the ground. Make him stop. Go the other way. Get yourself a yard. That should have been a -2, and you get yourself 1. That's a +3 in the running back category right there when you're able to do that. That's Chris Carson getting that done for the Seahawks offense, keeping them in front of the chains once again.
Averaging 5.5 a clip. Wilson again ad-libs, and he gets Carson out of the backfield. Another first down for Seattle. And finally put down, but not before he gets into Cardinal territory to the 46, a pickup of 17.
All right, there he is right here in the backfield. Going to check protection, just leak out late. Nothing open. That's the quarterback. That's the veteran quarterback. You understand where your outlet is. You look down the football field. You see nothing's open. Where's my outlet? Put it on his body. Let him do something with it after the reception.
89 total yards. Disley, the tight end, wide to the left or the right, and Carson with the dive gets to the 44-yard line before Clinton McDonald brings him down. What advance, Joseph, the Cardinal defensive coordinator, said it's a matter of pick your poison against this team.
Yeah, pick your poison against this team. And right now on the backside, they're completely ignoring the fakes by Russell Wilson. That will come back at some point. 3rd down and 1. That will come back to haunt them because he'll convert, keeping the ball. He doesn't want to run it a lot, but the threat is there. And right now the Cardinals are ignoring that threat, trying to sell out to stop Chris Carson.
2nd down and 7. C.J. Procise is in there. Here comes the rush, and good play by Disley to hang on to the ball before he's pushed out of bounds at the 41, short gain. Murphy made the play again. In case you missed earlier, Rashad Penny out with a hamstring injury. So Procise becomes the backup runner, and they said we might see Travis Homer, the rookie, make an appearance. Not yet, though.
But always love it when the quarterback just throws it back in the blitz. You see it, get it out of your hand quickly, throw it right where the blitz came from. Russell Wilson orchestrate right now on this drive.
3rd down and 5 on the 42 of the Cardinals. Wilson going to go down at midfield, and it's Suggs and Jordan Hicks, and a ball knocked loose. It's recovered by Seattle, but the good defense by the Cardinals knocks the Seahawks out of any possible field goal possibilities there. DJ Fluker, the right guard, recovered that fumble.
Just coming off the edge, and you watch them. I mean, they're just bringing everybody off this edge right here. Suggs, I love the way you put your hands up and keep your feet on the ground. I think Russell Wilson's knee was on the ground before that ball came out. I think he's down, and then the ball comes out.
Close, but it was recovered by Seattle.
Yeah, Fluker recovered the fumble.
Third sack of the game for Arizona. Michael Dixon kicking it away. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage, and Christian Kirk. Fair catch at the 14. Crowd yelling for a penalty down there. None coming. The flag was thrown upfield. Sean Smith, the referee.
Holding. Kicking team number 69. 10-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick. First down, timeout.
It'll be Cardinal ball, and question for Kyler Murray in his 4th NFL game. Can the Cardinals get it going? They just have a field goal to show for their efforts thus far.
All right, let's talk about throwback right here with these three guys. Look at how much they stay on the football field. They don't leave, and you're talking about a team that runs 4 wide receivers and 3 wide receivers as their base package. Nobody else in the NFL does this. Bobby Wagner, one of the best in the business at the linebacker position.
And they've snuffed out the Cardinals, who only have managed a field goal. On first down, David Johnson with a good run. He is the leading receiver for the Cardinals today with 6 catches for 87 yards. And on first down, David Johnson moves it out to the 28-yard line, picking up 5. Kirk has only 1 catch today. Sherfield only 1. And again, they go to David Johnson, but this time he picks up about 2. Poona Ford in on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and about 4 coming up.
So this is what I like to talk about play sequencing and marrying your run game with your play action. So you run it 2 times. What's the adjunct play action play that comes with that to get your running back involved, get him catching the football, and seeing if you can convert this 3rd down?
3rd down and 3. Murray drills it, and Larry Fitzgerald is there to make the catch, gets the first down to the 40-yard line. 9-yard pass on 3rd down by Kyler Murray. He can zing it, that's for sure. And now they line up in a hurry to the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Kyler Murray's arm. Look at him coming back to the backside on a route combination, something that he hasn't done a whole lot of this season, and getting it to the target, number 11, Larry Fitzgerald.
Chase Edmonds in the backfield with Murray, and he gets the call, and Edmonds for a couple, that's all. Al Woods, former Colt up front, holds Edmonds to a pickup of 2.
And it's the negative plays. That's the issue that you have with this offense. When you're 2nd down in long situations, you can't hold up 5 guys across the board, spread out in 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. It's almost impossible for an offensive line to hold up in this situation.
2nd down and 8. And Murray, and his pass is going to be caught for the first down to Christian Kirk. And a flag is down as well, right about where Kirk was at the 40-yard line. And it's going to be, see if it's offensive pass interference, a 13-yard gain Here's Sean Smith.
Pass interference, offense, number 13, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
So instead of a first down in Seattle territory, they go back, and the penalty on them.
Well, Christian Kirk right here, did you get a significant advantage? And I think that's the right call. You get the push off to get yourself separation. I know you don't like it, but that's the way they call it. And they have almost never reviewed these calls. So even to challenge it, that it's a challengeable play, but they don't like to go against what the referees called. And I think that's the right call here by this officiating squad.
So they'll be set back to the 32, bringing up second down and 18. David Johnson back in and gets the handoff here. And a good tackle made by L.J. Collier, the #1 draft pick from TCU, who has been inactive, but not today, and figures in the rotation and makes a good play on Johnson. 1-yard gain.
He does make it. There's lots of space right here, and he comes off the block. You see him read it right there underneath. Go attack the running back around his ankles, and this is where you don't want to be. 5 guys trying to block their front.
Third down and 17. The pass is thrown underneath to Johnson, but the tackling, which was a question mark last week for Seattle, as Mark pointed out at the start, much better today. And it's Wright and Wagner, 2 of the 3 great linebackers. 10-yard gain, but they'll have to kick.
Well, you have to throw it underneath there, and that's the thing. When you spread out in 4 wide receiver sets, you're asking your offensive line to hold up against the superior athletes of the Seattle Seahawks. You just can't do that on a consistent basis.
Ryan Winslow punting, and here's Lockett bobbling at the 11, and he's going to be put down. Little bobble just gave the Cardinals a chance, and Andy Isabella, very versatile performer, especially on special teams. And so the Seattle Seahawks with a lead here. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer of the Seattle Seahawks. I hope his wife likes the calls he's made in this game.
Yeah, she wasn't happy with the performance last week. He checked with her on the game plan. She's okay with it, but it still has to do with executing the game plan. So jury's still out for Schotty's wife.
Right. First down at the 9-yard line. Carson. Good forward push by Carson out to the 15. Meanwhile, the Cardinals defense have forced the Seahawks to punt the last 2 times they've had the ball. 6-yard gain on first down.
That big offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks starting to lean on people, starting to wear people out. And this is when you want to, in the 3rd quarter here with 1:55 left, say, let's get into 4-minute offense, and let's just see if we can lean on these guys, thunder punch them down the football field.
They'll try again, and Carson will have the first down. Looked just like the plan you talked about at getting out to the 26-yard line. An 11-yard pickup for Carson, who has 85 yards rushing now.
Oh, we get another trap here by Mike Iupati. He's going to come across there, knock some people around, and then watch the finish right here by Chris Carson. Shoulder, near foot, drop it down, and punish the defensive back, because he may have to be in man-to-man coverage the next time, and he may not feel real good about that shot he just took.
Counting the receiving yards, over 100 today for Chris Carson, and he's held onto the ball every time. This quick pass out to Lockett. Lockett beats a defender, and a flag goes down from upfield. And you can see the signal by the Cardinals indicating a hold against the Seahawks, and that may be the call. It was David Moore who...
Pass interference, offense number 83, blocking downfield prior to the pass, 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So pass interference penalty against David Moore.
Yeah, David Moore just got on the, you see it right there.
First down.
On Kevin Peterson. He gets the block before the ball actually leaves the quarterback's hands. And I mean, that's such a timing thing. It's so close because you know what your assignment is. And when the DB reads it, that anxiousness comes in, goes, that's my guy. I can't let him make a play. I can't let him make a tackle. So I understand that by Moore. Those are the things that happen occasionally. You hope you don't get caught, but they caught him red-handed that time.
Back at the 15, first down and 20. And they give it to Carson. And this time, One of the defenders in there was Cassius Marsh. No gain on the play. And that may be the last play of this third quarter. Under a half a minute to go. It'll be 2nd down and 20. While both of these teams have been outscored in the first half of their games this year, they have outscored their opponents in the second half. And they're going to let this clock run down. That will be the end of a scoreless third quarter here at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, with the Seahawks in front 20-3. Fourth quarter about to start. Dick Stockton, Mark Schlereth, and Jen Hale. No scoring in the third. Seattle getting a pick 6 from Jadeveon Clowney, and 2 missed field goals by the Cardinals, who have yet to get a touchdown in this game.
So 2nd down and 20. What do you go with on 2nd down and 20? Can you pop a draw, get yourself some yardage, or throw something underneath, make it third and manageable? Is really what you're looking here as an offense.
And they go out to the flat, and it's Carson. Carson's had a tremendous all-round game, and the confidence that Pete Carroll and his teammates have in him, including Russell Wilson, borne out by the way Carson has played today. Gets 5 yards on that play, and it'll be 3rd down and 15.
Asking Pete Carroll about Chris Carson and about what do you do with the fumble, and you say, I back him he said, all the freaking way, man, I back him. He is that talented, that good of a back. This is not going to be a problem going forward.
They bring in C.J. Prosise on this 3rd down play, and he lines up as a receiver. 3rd and 15, and up the middle, the pass is going to be caught by Luke Wilson and hit by Budda Baker. Wilson, second tour of duty with the Seahawks, re-signed this week and had been with the team for a while. In fact, the best day in his career was right here against the Cardinals back in 2014.
Said he walked into the facility and everybody was just so excited. He brings that kind of positive energy back to this organization.
Michael Dixon will be punting from the 20-yard line. Christian Kirk has to run a bit, and Dixon does a great job. No return, and a good kick by Dixon. So the Cardinals early here in the fourth quarter have a long way to go against the Seattle defense. Could be a banner day for Larry Fitzgerald. Came in needing 5 catches to pass our Tony Gonzalez for second place in the all-time receiving list. He has caught 3 thus far, so he needs 1 to tie and 2 to pass Tony behind Jerry Rice, who's in the house today. First down on the 20-yard line for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, and this catch is caught by Keyshawn Johnson. The first catch by Johnson, the rookie from Fresno State, and a 7-yard pickup. By the way, Mark, the longest pass today by the Cardinals to a wide receiver netted 15 yards.
Yeah, and that's one of the issues with this offense right now. It's a single receiver side, throw it to the one guy. Can you get route combinations together, and essentially can Kyler Murray see them?
Well, David Johnson could see enough space to get a first down for the Cardinals out to the 31-yard line.
On film, one of the things you see with Kyler Murray is if that first receiver is covered, if he's not open, oftentimes he tends to focus a little bit on the rush, and then he'll take off, and something he needs to get better at, seeing the receivers down the field and delivering those passes.
On first down, turning around and finding the receiver and holding on was Max Williams, the former Raven, who has played really good football since coming over to the Cardinals. Bobby Wagner on the tackle, but not before a gain of 21.
Boy, I love this. You know, they fake the screen to the left, and then they fake it to the right, and then they get Max Williams down the seam, and that's great play design by this offense in general and Cliff Kingsbury. So, you know, getting them moving east and west and getting them down the middle of the football field.
And a lot of movement here, and Kyler Murray's pass, and it's knocked down and nearly picked off by Shaquille Griffin. Fitzgerald was downfield, flagged down as well, and nearly intercepted. Flag is down at the 35 of the Seahawks, and limping back into the action is Griffin.
Holding. Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So limping off the field is Griffin, and the other cornerback, Trey Flowers, was holding on the play, so it'll be a first down for the Cardinals. Trying to get back into this game early here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not sure about this. I mean, where do you see a hold right there? I mean, that was the hole. He's just in a cover two. He's in the flat right here. I mean, I see no hold.
Here's Murray rolling out and going deep in a crowd and overthrowing Sherfield, who is covered well downfield, bringing up second down and 10. Akeem King, by the way, has come into the game replacing Shaquille Griffin, who kind of limped off the field. It'll be second down and 10 on the 43 of the Seahawks. And now Griffin is back in there, and King goes out. Cardinals, they want to hang in this game, trailing by 17. An important drive for them. No one knows that better than the Seahawks defending. Here's Murray in trouble. Escapes. Directing traffic and finds a receiver. It's Charles Clay, the tight end. And the Cardinals get a first down and a flag back at the 40-yard line. Kendricks missed the tackle. It would be an 8-yard pickup, but it may be against Arizona.
An eligible man downfield. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
They call it on Justin Murray, the right tackle, who did not start today. Jordan Mills did. So that costs them a first down.
Right here. And that's what happens when you start scrambling around. This is a great job by Kyler Murray. You see the missed tackle right here by Kendricks. Now, usually you're just taking off, pump the side, pump fake as you attack the line of scrimmage, dump the ball off. Then he sees the flag, is just like, oh, for crying out loud. But that's hard as an offensive lineman because you feel like he's going to take off. You want to go out there, protect him, go out there, help him downfield.
So that'll bring up second and 15, back near midfield. Murray fires it, and it's going to be caught by Christian Kirk. So that is the longest reception by a wide receiver today, 18 yards, and a first down at the 30.
Nice throw right here, and this is one thing he can do, even off balance, off platform throw, just gets back to the curl, beautifully thrown.
And here is Murray, and unable to make the play was Kirk, but a flag goes down. Tedrick Thompson, see if he interfered with Kirk there.
I think they're going to get him for a defenseless receiver right here.
Personal foul.
Yep.
Defense, number 33. Unnecessary roughness. 15-yard penalty, automatic
That's
first
exactly
down.
what it is, Mark. And the Cardinals are marching down here, and an important drive for them, helped by penalties.
Look at Kyler Murray coming back to the throw. Kirk right down the middle. Now, back when I was playing, you know what they called that, Dick? They called that football. But today, in this game, they don't allow that to happen anymore. Defensive receiver, and I understand trying to protect our players. And you know what? That, by the letter of the law, is exactly
Here
what
is
it is.
Christian Kirk on the inside handoff. And Kirk gets to the 9-yard line. Wagner makes the tackle. Of course, how many years ago they played with leather helmets, I think,
Right.
when you were playing back way back then.
Exactly. And it's all about protecting. It's protecting your players here, but shoulder to shoulder is legal. But when the guy's defenseless, and that's what it comes down to, he can't get his feet on the ground and defend himself from that hit. That's why that flag was thrown.
5 penalties second half for Seattle. They had none in the first. And here's a quarterback draw, and Kyler Murray will score. Cardinals get their first touchdown. Nine-yard play up the middle, and the Cardinals finally get a touchdown inside 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, right here, and you got it. Kyler Murray sets up. That's a design call. Follows his tailback on the block of the middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Zane Gonzalez with the extra point. And the Cardinals back in this game, trailing now 20-10 on a 9-yard run. And that is the first rushing touchdown of Kyler Murray's career. So Kyler Murray runs for a TD to bring the Cardinals to within 10 on an 8-play, 80-yard scoring drive. And Max Williams on the receiving end of a 21-yard pass was the big play in that drive. Some of this looks familiar to the opening game against Detroit when the Cardinals came back in the fourth quarter and wore out the Lions. Game ended up to be a tie, but we'll see how Seattle responds here. Well, get ready for all the heart-stopping, nail-biting action of the MLB postseason. The ALDS starts Friday on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. The American League playoff team set. Yankees, Twins, and Astros all amassed over 100 wins and won their respective divisions with relative ease, while the Rays and A's will battle it out in the wild card game. And both of our starting quarterbacks, multi-sport stars, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, also MLB draft picks as well.
Yeah, both of these guys, incredible athletes. And, you know, you can see that they have that ability to throw off platform, their baseball careers kind of melding into their football careers.
First down on the 25. Swing it out to Carson, but the play was blown dead.
Delay game, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So after no penalties in the first half, Seattle now has committed 6 in the second half, and we still have 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, getting sloppy. Yeah, you've got to understand that this offense of the Cardinals, they overcame their 80-yard drive, a illegal man downfield penalty to put a score on. And Seattle's just out of sync right now. They've got to settle down, get this offensive drive going, continue to run the football, and let Russell Wilson do his thing.
He'll throw it on this play, and it'll be to the rookie Metcalf. And out of bounds he goes. DK Metcalf, second-round choice out of Ole Miss. And key in week 2 at a 54-yard reception, and that's the longest pass and catch for the Seahawks this year.
Yeah, he is, it's not fair. He is 6'4", and he's, I think they list him about 228, but I guarantee he's closer to 238. I mean, that is a big guy who can flat run, really developing into a very big target and nice target for Russell Wilson.
Second down and 9. Wilson goes to the outside. Carson breaks a tackle and gets a first down. Bad tackling on the Cardinals that time. And a first down for Carson. 12-yard pickup.
That's how you overcome things, right? That's the way you get it done. Throw it out to the flat right here. Chris Carson grabs the ball. You know, he's had the fumbling issue, breaks a tackle, and then just absolutely puts his head down, drives it. Look how he keeps that ball. Look at him. Look at Pete. Excited. He's celebrating. He wraps that ball. Look at Pete. Look at the energy the 68-year-old Pete Carroll has.
DJ Swearinger was the Cardinal who missed the tackle. First and 10, and here is Carson. And Terrell Suggs meets him after a gain of 6. So after passing early here in this sequence, going to the running game now and using the clock with under 9 minutes to go in the fourth.
That's when you get your big guys up front, say, let's squelch this uprising, right? They came back. Now it's a 10-point game. Let's go ahead, bleed some clock. Let's go ahead, lean on these guys. Just show them that we're physically a dominant football team. And let's go ahead and end this thing here, putting a drive together that consumes clock.
Second down and 4. And they go to Carson on the pitch. And out of bounds he goes. Carson with over 90 yards. Let's go down to Jen Hale with more on Chris Carson.
Dick, Mark was talking about how excited Pete Carroll was for Carson's success today. No bigger fans of Carson than Pete and Russell Wilson. In fact, Russell Wilson pulled him aside before today's game to give him a little pep talk, and he said, hey, the best have had fumbling issues. Walter Payton, one of the best of all time, he had the third most fumbles in NFL history by running backs, 86. So he expressed confidence in Carson that he could turn it around today, and so far, certainly Carson is paying that off.
92 yards rushing and 41 more as a receiver, Jen. So he has had a terrific all-round game, and a timeout is called by the Seahawks. Their first time out of the second half, and we'll be right back after this message from Geico. And we're back here at Glendale, and a big third down short play coming up.
And remember, last week they really struggled with these third and shorts, the fourth and shorts. Don't be surprised to see Russell Wilson keep this ball.
C.J. Procise is in the backfield now, and it's going to be a play fake, and off balance, flag is down, and the pass is going to be caught that time by Procise downfield. Make that Luke Wilson, the tight end. Wilson downfield, and a flag here. Big play by the Seahawks, and it looked like they very nearly got to Russell Wilson.
Illegal contact, defense number 58. That penalty's declined, result of the play is first down.
They'll decline the penalty on Jordan Hicks and take the 17 yards for the first down to the 37.
Well, they've played together before. There's no question about it. Right there, right there is Luke Wilson. Russell Wilson just throws it. He's not even looking. He's like, man, I trust my guy, 82, Luke Wilson. And look at this catch right here. Hicks draped all over him. That's just believing in your guy.
How about the throw when he was on his way down? And he's on his way down for good here. Jonathan Bullard, the former Bear, and the fourth sack of the game by the Cardinals. They've given up a defensive score, and their defense hasn't been all that bad in this game by any stretch. A loss of 5 yards, bringing up second down.
Well, listen, when you don't block the line of scrimmage, when you don't block the offensive line doesn't block the defensive lineman, that's never going to be a good situation. There it is right there, unblocked. Listen, you've got the tight end in. That's just a mistake up front. And those are the kind of things we haven't seen Seattle make. In the first half, they made no mistakes. They have been riddled with mistakes here in the second half.
Second down and 15. Wilson going to be tackled from behind, not a sack, as he picks up about 3 or 4 yards. It was Hassan Reddick coming in there, but a gain of 5 for Wilson. It'll be third down and long coming up now for Seattle. And if they can hang in there and stay in field goal range, it'd be a long kick now.
Well, defensive coordinator Vance Joseph, who you just saw there, he is bringing the house. It's all-out blitz. We're going to play man coverage. Our guys, we're trusting them right now to lock your guys up in man-to-man. Let's see if they bring that pressure again.
Be a 53-yard field goal, something around that neighborhood now. Third down and 10. Wilson giving ground, and his pass is going to be caught for the first down. Forward progress to Tyler Lockett, gets 11 yards, and the Seahawks remain in business.
Well, they brought the pressure again. Russell Wilson stands strong in the pocket. He's not worried about it. Look at all the guys across the line of scrimmage. They're bringing that pressure. DB's coming. Russell Wilson, look at that middle, just delivers a strike to Lockett, running across the field on the shallow cross.
Swearinger defending, and Vance Joseph exhaling, not what he wanted there, putting the pressure on Wilson. Lockett with his third catch, and a first down at the 26 of Arizona, and the handoff to Carson. Chris Carson on his way to 100 yards, stopped by Jordan Hicks, and a timeout is called by the Cardinals. They have 1 remaining.
Chris Carson's going to need an ice tub and an oxygen tent after this game.
Not necessarily in that order,
yes,
I might add.
Because he is absolutely punishing tacklers right now, running over people, and he has been great all day, not only running the football with authority. You see the vision there to spin out of a would-be tackler, and then at the point of attack, running in, running through, running over defenders, really punishing his guys, catching it out of the backfield as well. Chris Carson has done it all today, and I'm telling you what, he has been the MVP offensively. And Pete Carroll, yeah, my guy was fumbling early, but my guy's getting it done now.
137 total yards, best rushing day easily for Carson. Second down and 6, and they got Carson with a head of steam. And look at Carson gets a first down as he barrels over defenders of the Cardinals It was Kevin Peterson who had a first chance at him, and he ends up with 12 yards. He's gone over 100 now with 108 and a first down.
Oh, and then with it's going like this for you on a little pitch play to my guy Carson. Look, at you get like this, and you're just like, yeah, I want to hunt some people up. Put the shoulder down, same foot, same shoulder, drive through the defender. Kevin Peterson right here. Listen, when you get it going like this as a running back, you're like, give it to me, because I know they're a lot more tired than I am, and I want to finish guys and punish guys at the point of attack.
First down. C.J. Procise gives Carson a breather here, and it's going to be Wilson. And Wilson ad-libbing gets the pass down to Tyler Lockett, and Lockett is tackled at the 6-yard line, bringing up second down, second and goal. And now the Cardinals have called their third and final timeout. Interesting how this game has gone, because the Cardinals scoring a touchdown, punishing the Seahawks, and then the question is, could they get the Seahawks out quickly? They could not, and it's been a big march for the Seahawks, and they have second and goal.
Yeah, between the physical style of Chris Carson and this offense, and then the ability to ad-lib, as you saw there on that last play from Russell Wilson, understanding where all his outlets are. The play broke down on the front side. I know where my outlet is. It's Tyler Lockett. I'll find him, and I'll just keep these chains moving, give us that opportunity to be a second down and goal from about the 6-yard line.
So the Seahawks have marched 60 yards using over 6 minutes on this drive, have a second and goal at the 6. Second and goal. Russell Wilson with a fake on a pass, and he gets stopped by Jordan Hicks after picking up 2 yards. Clock shows 4 minutes remaining, and a flag goes down. Penalty marker. Late flag down. So the clock does stop at 4 minutes. Cardinals out of timeouts.
At the end of the play, dead ball, personal foul, defense number 20, unnecessary roughness, after distance penalty, automatic, first down.
Tremaine Brock mark off half the distance, and it'll be first and goal now.
The very end. Which is, again, those are the kind of things where you expect your veteran players not to get caught up in that. The rookie uses some common sense, doesn't get involved in that. DK Metcalf, there's some pushing and shoving going on, and then Brock, the veteran, is the one that, that bites the cheese, so to speak, and puts his team, in the hole once again. So, I mean, those are the kind of penalties that really frustrate you as a coach, as a football program. You just can't have it.
That's lack of discipline.
Yeah, that's what it is.
First and goal, the ball at the 2. And the handoff is to Carson. He's going to get in, flag down again. Another penalty marker as Carson goes in and rolls his eyes as he crosses the goal line.
Holding, offense number 88, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
So the touchdown nullified, flag against Disley.
Yeah, here's Disley on the end of the line of scrimmage. He's the one we won versus Chandler Jones. You see Chandler gets the outside. You see the jersey stretch right there? Anytime that jersey stretches, when your hands are outside right there, it's so easy for the officials down the line of scrimmage to see that, and they'll call it 100% of the time. I know he doesn't like it. I understand why you don't like it, but that jersey stretch, you're out there on the end of the line of scrimmage, they can see you, and that puts you behind the 8 ball now. First and goal from outside the 10-yard line.
Will be at the 12. That's the 7th second-half penalty against the Seahawks. Here comes pressure on in the middle, and Chris Carson is going to lose a yard there. DJ Swearinger forcing the play from the secondary.
So good news, bad news here, Dick. I mean, obviously you wanted to get Chris Carson a touchdown, right? You wanted to reward him for the work that he's done. But what's happened now is it's pushed you back out here. And what are we doing? Right now we're talking, and what's happening to that clock? It's ticking away, ticking the time down for Arizona not to get this thing back and get back into the game.
15th play of this drive. Wilson to the end zone, tipped away by Byron Murphy on the pass intended for Lockett. Flag is down, so back at the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 55. After distance penalty, automatic first down.
So Chandler Jones, who was held, now called for roughing the passer. The two big penalties against the Cardinals in the last few.
Yeah, on the line of scrimmage right here, and he just comes in against Disley, gets the inside.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to block the pass, but anytime you touch, slap for the ball, but anytime you touch that quarterback's head right there, they are going to call that. So it's unintentional, but they're in another issue. Yeah, the fans don't like it, but that's exactly the way they call it. It's about protecting quarterbacks in this league, and you've got to protect number 3.
Now the ball at the 6, first and goal for Seattle. 3:05 on the clock. Here is Carson trying to go outside, and Carson will take a loss of about 3.5 yards that time by Reddick and Miles Brown. Game break time. Let's pick up Kurt Menefee here. Kurt.
It is getting late for the Rams as Jameis Winston and the Bucs keep rolling. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. That one to Cameron Brate puts them up 38-20 in Los Angeles in the 4th quarter. Dick, Mark, and Jan.
All right, Kurt. Meanwhile, Carson to the sidelines, getting a breather. 104 yards rushing on the day. First 100-yard game of the year, 7th in his career. So Procise is in there as we wind down close to the 2-minute warning. It'll be 2nd and goal. And they go to Procise. Procise breaks a tackle and scores for the Seahawks. C.J. Procise, who's been on injured reserve the last 2 years, and the backup running back to Carson in this game with Penny injured. And there you see Brian Schottenheimer and Pete Carroll celebrate on the sidelines, and a critical touchdown for the Seahawks here.
Well, just an easy play, just a handoff to the outside. I love it. Stick your foot in the ground, go get yardage up the football field on a tired defense right there. Pete Carroll really excited now. C.J. Procise needs to go over and apologize to Chris Carson for taking his touchdown, but I tell you what, he's going to keep that. That's a game ball right there.
Jason Myers with the extra point, and the Seahawks lead it 27-10 with 2:13 left and no timeouts left for the Cardinals. Procise with a touchdown, and Pete Carroll couldn't be happier. And a longest scoring drive play-wise, 15, time-wise, 8:08. And the Seahawks' longest drive of the season by plays. They rushed 9 times, passed 6 times, and this was trademark Seattle offense, Mark.
It certainly was, and Russell Wilson told us, his father told him when he was a kid, people remember winners. You saw him on the sideline, has, high fives and encouraging his guys. He doesn't care about whether you throw it or whether you run it. He cares about winning.
Myers kicking off, and Cardinals will take it out on the 25. The Seahawks running game has come alive. They were tremendous from those years, and then they had a drop-off for a couple of seasons. They were 22nd in the league, but last year that was the trademark of the team. Even with Wilson, who could pass as well as run, they ran the ball, and Brian Schottenheimer came in, got the job done, and today 115 yards rushing, 104 from Chris Carson. And this is a contrast of the wild passing style versus the traditional run.
There's no question.
First down from the 25. Murray completes the pass to Keyshawn Johnson, who gets a first down. People say, well, what do you mean Keyshawn Johnson? His father loved Keyshawn Johnson, and named his son spelled differently. 11 yards in the first down. 2-minute warning here. Seahawks in control. We'll be back. Well, that fan will be watching WWE on Friday. Meanwhile, Seattle, if they win, will go 3-1, and Arizona 0-3-1. Rams are down by 11 early in the fourth quarter. Still enough time to come back, and San Francisco sitting at home undefeated. Here's the first pass on the series out to David Johnson, and out of bounds he goes. And in the sidebar story, Larry Fitzgerald still needs 1 reception to tie Tony Gonzalez and 2 to pass him to second place behind the great Jerry Rice. As you can say, all 3 are great. And here's Fitzgerald, who has made the Tony Gonzalez tie with the first down, and the ball knocked loose. No sign given. And it's going to be Cardinal ball.
Here goes Larry Fitzgerald. Is that ball loose?
On the field.
He gets down.
A first down is under review.
And the last 2 minutes of a game, it's a booth review, and they're going to review as to whether that was a viable catch. Tedrick Thompson, see if he forced the fumble from Fitzgerald before his knee hit the ground. I see the left knee down, the ball coming out. You be the judge.
Yeah, I think right here he secures it, knees down, and then right there, I mean, split second, Tedrick Thompson comes in and pokes that thing free. But I think that knee right there, knee is down. Here it is. Look at the knee come down right here, and that's down, and then the ball popped out. So I think they'll retain that ball. Kind of anticlimactic for the tying Tony Gonzalez to number 2 overall. And we've got to go to a booth review to see if this is a fumble or not.
Mike Pereira, he tied Tony Gonzalez, but did he fumble or not, your opinion?
I don't think so. Come on, if he beats Tony Gonzalez, give him the play now.
That's right.
I'm like Mark. I think that the left knee is down just before the ball gets knocked out. Remember, on the field, they ended up ruling that he was down, and there is a clear recovery. But I think you stay with that left knee being down there and stay with down by contact.
Yeah, not enough to overturn this, without question. Thank you, Mike. Waiting for the official declaration. Well, whatever the call is, he made the catch.
The ruling on the field stands, first down.
So no fumble. 11-yard gain for number 11. Next catch puts him in second place. It'll be a first down at the 49-yard line. That's what the fans see. First down and 5 receivers. And there's the second place position for Larry Fitzgerald. He gets a first down in the process, and only Jerry Rice has caught more passes than Larry Fitzgerald in his NFL career. Fitzgerald just lining up, still playing football, 15 yards on that play, and a first down at the 36. Kyler Murray flushed away, being chased by Clowney, and stops the clock with an interception. So here they are, Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, and Tony Gonzalez. 1, 2, 3 mark in the most receptions all time. And who was here earlier in the game? The great Jerry Rice on the scene.
Jerry Rice, look at the love right there between Jerry and Larry Fitzgerald. And I tell you what, to do it all in one franchise too, like Larry has just been absolutely amazing.
And on the run, David Johnson, who's had a pretty solid game, gets 14 yards. Johnson, 8 catches for 99 yards as a receiver and 39 more as a runner. Under a minute to play, and the pass is caught by Kirk. Remember, the Cardinals used their last time out a while back. Jamar Taylor making the stop. 40 seconds on the clock. The Seattle Seahawks coming back after their loss against the Saints at home. Carson, the big star, with 104 yards, holding onto the ball throughout the game. Russell Wilson generating a great offense, and the defense getting a touchdown on a pick six by Clowney. Kirk is shaken up. I think he was shaken up on the last play.
He was, and
so an injury time, 13 seconds on the clock, and there will be a 10-second runoff. Well, Clowney delivers, and the Seahawks will go to 3-1 on the season.
Injury under 2 minutes requires an excess charge timeout.
This is where Kirk was initially injured. You see that.
Gets it.
Set the game clock to 3 seconds. The game clock will start.
3 seconds left on the clock. The Seahawks, by the way, will have a Thursday date against the Rams at the Coliseum in the Thursday game on Fox. And after that, the next four will be non-divisional foes. The Cardinals, who will drop to 0-3-1, are on the road at Cincinnati, where 3 of their next 4 games will be away from State Farm Stadium.
This is it, last play of the game, and I'm telling you, this Seattle defense, they want to make sure they keep them out of the end zone. This is something that a prideful group does not want to give up a score here.
Well, here comes Murray, and Murray is going to go down and end the game. Seattle comes back and avenges the defeat last week, but the big test will be Thursday night, a divisional game at the Rams. Ziggy Ansah, the 4th sack for the team, and the game is over, and the Seahawks defeat the Cardinals by a score of 27-10. Larry Fitzgerald right behind Jerry Rice, and this was the last play of the game. Murray gets sacked. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.